Hello again, I am Jim Bob. Welcome back to Big Bud Farm. And it's an early start for us today, as you can see. We got started a little after 5 a.m. and that's because of the weather forecast. As you can see, we do have rain on the forecast. So at some point we are going to get stopped on our harvesting. Just looking around, I can't really see any greying of the skies just yet. It's still getting light. It's still not properly fully light yet, so it's a little hard to tell, but my guess is that rain will come while we are harvesting on this field here. So I want to try and make as much of a head start as possible before we have to pack up and wait for a few hours for that rain to finish. So I'm going to park up just here and kind of just run through where we are. So as you can see, we're over $1 million again. Now I have sold some logs since the last episode, so let's quickly jump over to our forestry area and have a look. So we've brought the wood chipper out, and all these little thin pieces of tree at the tops that you can see here, these are all stacked up ready to go through the wood chipper. They don't produce much in the way of wood chips, but they don't produce much at all in the way of money either, so they're more worthwhile as wood chips than they are as pieces of lumber to sell. We do have a small pile of wood chips already from the tops that we have already processed. And as you can see, I've actually cut down a lot more trees since you were last with us. Grass top section here to make a clearing. And as we progress down here, we've got some more logs ready to be loaded up. We have a trailer here full of logs ready to be sold. This is trailer number 4 of logs. So we did 1 on camera, then I did another 2 off camera, sold both of those. And now I have trailer number 4 here, ready to go as well. And then, as you can see, I've also been busy cutting down a lot more trees up this end as well. So plenty of work that has been done up here, plenty more still to do. And we may well come back up here a little later on when the rain starts. On top of that, we've also did some contract work on field 2 as well. So I did a planting job to plant some sunflowers. And to make sure that we were planting sunflowers, I just kept going through the job, connecting up to the seeder, and every time it gave me something other than sunflowers, I just jumped out of the vehicle and let the 10-second timer run down, and then restarted the job, accepted another job until I got sunflowers. And basically, you can eliminate certain versions of that mission straight away, depending on what seeder you get offered. So if you get offered a potato one, you can just decline that job straight away. If you get offered something that doesn't have the ability to plant row crops, you can just decline that job straight away. So I was only really looking at jobs that were offering me the Great Plains YP2425A. Didn't take too long to do the job, around about 2.5 hours I think it was, and got a nice little payout for that. And then after that I did a fertilisation job as well, which was another 90 minutes or so, and that paid out around about 50-something thousand with a 20,000 time bonus. So that's why we are now back into the 1.09 million range. So all the money that we spent to invest in has been recouped, and we've also made some money from our logging as well. In terms of our animals, let's take a look at our animals. So we're up to 112 sheep. We are producing a second pallet of wool. We have one still in the box ready to go, and our sheep are coming along quite nicely. They've got plenty of water, plenty of food. We look at pricing. You can see that although we've had a decent price for canola, it wasn't stellar, so I decided to hang on to the grain that we have. And you can also see our silage price is now starting to go up. So we may do some silage work today as well, or we may save that for the next episode. We'll wait until that price stabilises, see where it ends up. So the big mod news over the weekend was that we actually got mods over the weekend. I can't think of a time that we've ever had mods released on a Saturday, or a Sunday for that matter. So I got quite a surprise when on Saturday morning I logged in, and I went to download a couple of mods that I hadn't had the chance to download on Friday, and lo and behold, we had new mods. We had Emerald Valley Logging, we had a new seeder, and we had a new cultivator, I think, a bale fork, and I'm sure there was something else that I'm forgetting off the top of my head. But we had mods released on a Saturday morning, which kind of caught me by surprise. Like I said, I don't think I can remember a time when we've ever had mods released on a weekend. So that was quite a nice surprise. And if you haven't already checked out Emerald Valley logging, which was the map that went live on Saturday, then there is a tour on my channel. Please do go ahead and check that out. And in terms of what we have in mods right now, the thread has been updated for today. So yesterday we had a couple of mods added in. So we had the Crone Big Pack 120-80, which is a baler, a Corona baler from ARM team. That was added in to testing, and I think there was something else that was added in as well, a couple of other things. One of the things that was added into testing, or back into testing, because it kind of disappeared from the testing thread on Friday, the animal trailer for the IT runner set. That was released yesterday, and today we are seeing updates for the semi-dolly and the semi-tipper from Black Sheep Modding. And as far as the update for the tipper is, I actually spotted this on a video that Black Sheep released a couple of days ago. What they've done is they've added the ability to put covers on our trailers, and they've added kind of an angled, almost triangular, very shallow, but you know, a shallow triangular framework over the top of the trailer for that cover to sit over. So I'm really looking forward to those. It'd be great to actually have covers on those trailers. And I'm not sure what the update is for the semi-dolly. That might be something to do with the logging trailer, which hoping to see by the end of the week. That is also a brand new entry into testing as well, the BSM trailer semi-log. So looking forward to seeing those. The Red Rock trailer pack is back in the testing thread again as well. Again, that was something that disappeared on Friday. So I'm not sure if it failed and was resubmitted, or if they just forgot to add that into the thread when they updated it on Friday. But that is now showing in testing again. We also have a shelter that's in testing. Very ambiguous. It literally just says shelter. That could be anything. I mean, obviously it's going to be a shelter, but it could be an existing shelter that's being updated. It could be a new shelter. Really difficult to say at this stage. And lastly, we also have an update pending for the Keenan Mech Fiber 340 feeder wagon. This is the feeder wagon that I use on Fent Farm. I love that little feeder. It's a fantastic piece of kit. My only wish was that it had a larger capacity, so fingers crossed they'll actually be upping the capacity from 12,000 litres to 16,000 litres with that update. I don't know. We'll have to wait and see, but I'll be really, really happy if that's the case. So there we go. That is the most up-to-date mod news that we have. I'm going to carry on harvesting away on this field, and I shall check back in with you in just a moment. It's just gone 7 o'clock, and it's starting to get a little bit misty on the screen, as you can see. Now, I'm not sure if this is just early morning fog that is setting in and will burn off in an hour or so, or if this is the start of the bad weather. I've got a feeling it may well be the start of the bad weather. So we'll keep an eye on this and see exactly how this shakes out. Yeah, I was right. It's the start of the bad weather, so there we go. Our worker has stopped. The rain has started. And that is it now for the next, I don't know, 4 or 5 hours, I think, before the rain will stop and we can get started again. So we'll get this tractor parked up at the top of the field, and then we'll wait until everything has dried out and carry on with the harvest. So in the meantime, let's go shift some logs. We're almost at our logging plant. Here we go. So let's get hooked up to our trailer. And we're going to tip in the mill pond this time, because we haven't done that yet. idea if I'm backing up straight or not. Doesn't look like it. No, we're way off, look. It's hard to tell when you can't see behind you. Be nice if we had like a rear view mirror just there that we could use. Alright, so let's go take these logs and go sell them. We should hopefully get around 35-40 grand for these. Got quite a nice big load of logs. And of course with the Black Sheep logging trailer, this could possibly be the last time that we use this trailer this episode. We might well be replacing it in the next one, depending as or not as to whether the Black Sheep logging trailer does actually pass testing. I mean, it should do. Their mods are usually pretty good at passing testing first time because they put a lot of their own extensive testing in first before they submit it. And they have a lot of experience when it comes to doing console modding, so they kind of know some of the things to look out for. But yeah, hopefully we'll have that trailer this week, which means when it comes around to Saturday and the next episode of Big Bud Farm, we may well be replacing our timber runner. Oops. Oh, we're going. Ah, damn it. Ah, no, 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 no. Bugger. Alright, we can fix this. We have the technology. This is what we're going to use. We're going to try and push everything back over. So I'm going to take this up there, and I'll see you in just a moment. Oh, can't get out this way because of the conveyors. Alright, so turn around, go out the long way, and then yeah, I'll meet you at our fallen trailer. So in the previous episode I talked about the dangers of not paying attention and how easy it would be to just, you know, flip your logging trailer. And then in the very next episode I don't pay attention and I flip my logging trailer. So if nothing else, I at least proved my point. But now I've got to try and right this if I can, and I think I should be able to do it quite comfortably because I've got the hill behind me. I can just get the angle right. There we go. I've got to be careful that I don't push it too far, and that going down that hill I didn't push it even further and knock it all the way over on the other side. So mission accomplished there. But we'll leave that just there for a second, just in case we tip over again. So yeah, let's go sell these logs at the mill pond. There is our mill pond. So we almost made it. We weren't far off. I'm going to take this nice and steady. There we go. Yeah, my fingers got confused. I tried to do the indicators and accidentally switched vehicles, and then when I came back I was still trying to do indicators instead of what I should have been doing, which was slamming my finger on the brake. And then when I suddenly realised what to turn, I turned and I was going way too fast, and yeah, well, you saw what happened, so. Okay, so let's remove the straps. And there we go. So we had 1095, didn't we? So yeah, we've made just under 40 grand. That's kind of what I was predicting. So I'm quite pleased with that. It means now, if I really wanted to, I could afford to buy a Bromar mother bin and still stay above the 1 million mark, which was kind of my my little mental checkpoint to myself. Is like, I don't want to, now that I've got back above 1 million, I don't want to dip below 1 million again. And so now I can buy a mother bin without actually going under 1 million, but I'm not going to just yet. We'll hang off. We don't technically need it straight away. It'd be nice to have one on the farm, but it's something that isn't really required. We can manage using the auger and the trailers just fine with the 2 fields that we have right now. And it would just add to our expenses each day, as well as obviously eating up 130 grand in capital investment. So we'll hold off on that for a little while, but we will definitely be getting one at some point in the not too distant future. So there we go, parked up in our little loading bay there. I like this loading bay so much that I may actually add another one a little bit further down, because it works really well, I think. Alright, let's return this back to the BGA. Okay, so we are back at the BGA. Let's just check on the pricing, see how our silage is doing, and oh yeah, it's definitely improving. It was 190 at the start of the morning, and now it's up to 244, so it's definitely improving. Will be interesting to see what that tops out at, but we're getting close to being able to start selling our silage, I think. Speaking of rear view mirrors, you can see we have one just there, which does allow us to see between the seats and see what is coming behind us. It would have been nice to have one of those in our little Twin Star as well, but alas, not to be. So I'm taking our pickup truck over to the store because I was thinking, while I was trying to sleep last night, I was thinking about making a couple of changes to our conveyor system for the silage, just to make things a little bit more efficient and a little bit better. So what I've done is I bought a second one of these sort of pickups, one of these little loading belts, like so, so that what we can do is just make things a little bit more efficient when it comes to actually getting our silage out of the pit. Now, it won't speed up how quickly the silage is processed, because it'll be feeding onto the same belt. So although there'll be 2 belts picking up, they'll both be feeding onto one single belt. So that can only process so much at any one time. So the material won't move any faster, but it will move more evenly. So what this will help to do is, by positioning them correctly, this will help prevent build-ups along the side and should give us a much more even I'm trying to think, a much more even usage of our silage. So channel up the middle and leaving sort of mounds up the sides. This should hopefully give us a much more even distribution across the whole pit. Plus, it won't eat as quickly as well, because it'll be taking from all sides. It won't be extending out of range so as fast. So it'll give us a little bit more time to actually position some of that silage nearer to the belts as we start eating through it. That is the plan anyway, so let's get this in place and get the new belt system set up. And so my genius master plan is thwarted because I can't get the belt in. So no matter what, we're going to need then is 2 more of these belts. So all I need to do now is fold this up and reposition everything in the right way. So a little bit of a setback, but not a huge problem by any stretch of the imagination. Okay, so here is the new setup. So the basic premise is, if I can get up here, there we go, that obviously we'll get a nice equal feed across the entire width of the bunker here, feeding onto these belts, which will feed onto this. Now, I'm not 100% certain that this is going to work, but my theory is that as long as they both feed onto this first part of the belt, then they should, both of these supporting belts here should be able to unload onto it. And then they will obviously feed onto the selling belt, which is angled away at the moment, so I can actually test this theory and see if this one here does unload onto this one. So it's time to test that. Let's see, how do I open the bunker? There we go. Is it unloading? No. Yes, it is. There we go. So the theory works. Now it's going to stop any moment. There we go. It stopped because I've positioned this belt in such a way that it's not actually tipping. But I did that so that I could check that this one here would definitely unload onto this belt here. So now we have that nice equidistant sort of unloading, feeding onto a single belt, which will sell. So let's start moving some of our silage. Now I want to be very careful how I do this. And we're not going to be selling straight away, but I need to make sure first of all I can actually get up here. This could cause a problem. There we go, use the bucket to help pull us up. Oh yeah, that could definitely be an issue going forward. So hopefully this will help open up the rest of this pit. By having an active vehicle driving over it. No. Why is that not doing that? That should. What am I missing? Why will this not continue? Maybe if I try opening it at the other end. Just fill that hole back in a little bit. At the very least, I can help smooth out that ramp just there a little bit. Yeah, there we go. That's better. Now we're moving the cover across. That's better. So the plan is to basically do this and keep shoveling that silage forward as best we can. So that we have good coverage right in front of our belts. This would have been a lot easier if I had a proper dozer blade that I could have attached to this thing. We may still end up having to do that, in which case we'll convert this to a logging piece of machinery. We'll fit it with a logging claw and leave it at that. But I'm really hoping that we can actually use this the way I was wanting to use it. It's taking a long time to get up this hill though. Needs a bit. But my theory was that with a bucket we could dump the silage pretty much where we wanted it. Be a lot more sort of accurate with that, if not necessarily faster. So I'm going to carry on sort of prepping the rest of this bunker. Oh, the weather has changed. Look at that. I've just noticed it's stopped raining, so we can get our harvest back underway. So we'll finish off the harvest then, and then in the next episode we will start shifting our silage, because hopefully the market will have finished moving by that point and we will be good to go. It also means that off camera I can also do a little bit of prep work on this bunker. So let's get back to our combine. There it is. Crop is still drying out, so we can't hire somebody just yet. Oh, Cronut is on sale. Wouldn't you know it? Let's check the sale out. And it's the big X that we have. Save 10%, save 10%. There's nothing really there that we potentially need. Oh, and the 1100's on sale as well. That's actually quite tempting. Nah, no, we don't need it. We don't need it. Much as I would like it, we don't need it. You know, the 580 is perfect for what we're doing. So we're not looking at getting into corn chaffing just yet. All right. Can we get underway yet? No, we can't. All right, I'll get this started as soon as I can. All right, we are back underway. So harvest will continue, and once it's done, we will call it an episode. The price for silage is definitely getting better. I've just had a look, and it's nearly $300 per 1,000 litres. So if it keeps going up like that, we could be looking at a green price, which would be fantastic. Definitely going to have a lot of silage to sell, which means hopefully a lot of money. It certainly won't put us close enough to buy the field outright, but it'll give us a nice big injection of cash. And combined with our sunflower crop on field 2 that we'll be doing some contract work on when that grows in, it could get us almost there. So we'll have to wait and see. Obviously we have our own crops to sell as well, so let's just take a quick look at other crop prices. There you can see $2.97 and still rising for silage. In terms of soybean, you can see the prices are going up at both small farm and the diner as well. Perfect timing for those prices to increase as we have a large crop coming in. So we'll have those to sell as well. So we're poised to make quite a lot of money in a very short space of time here on Big Bud Farm. I'm going to carry on harvesting away, and I'll catch up with you as we near completion. This is the last of field 3. This little thin strip on the side here that we're harvesting away. All the rest of our equipment has already been transferred across over to field 5. The trucks and the auger are both on standby, waiting for this combine to finish its job here and then make its way over. So as soon as we're done here, we'll get the header detached, transport it down to get set up on field 5 and harvest away there as well. We currently have around 100,000 litres. I think it's like 97, 98,000 litres in the truck, plus the 4,500 litres that we have here. So quite a nice haul. Obviously it's slightly higher than the last time we did soybean, because we now have those extensions to our headlands that we put in that will give us that little bit extra crop. And I think last time when we did a harvest, we came out with around 133,000 litres. So it's entirely possible that we may actually end up filling both trailers and having a little bit left over. It will be interesting to see just how much extra soybean we've added by putting in those headland extensions on both fields. And so we almost come to a close on our harvest here. We've just got this last little bit left to do on field 5. Trying really hard not to miss anything. I think we're getting the whole lot here. As always, the AI just does not like this field when it gets to this final row. It always seems to just cancel the worker for some reason. I'm not entirely sure why, but it is what it is. So there we go. We have 12,500 litres. Let's unfold the header and drop that down. There we go. And now let's unload into the truck and see what our final tally is going to be. Not quite sure why it's going up so slowly. Are we going to fill? We are. It's over 140,000 litres. Not by much. Not by much at all. There's only going to be a couple of hundred in here. Look at that. Oh no, 1,000. 1,227 litres left over. But there we go. Those headland extensions have netted us effectively an extra, what, 9,000 litres of soybean. So you can imagine how much extra that is on other crops. So there we go, 141,000 litres. Now the prices are still climbing in some places. Small farm is still going up. The diner capped at a disappointing 8.93. And obviously Valley Grains is going down, but hopefully Small Farm will keep rising and give us a nice, tasty price there. And Silage is capped at $308. So what we're going to do is we're going to slow down to real time, and then in the next episode, we're going to sell our silage. All of it. We're just going to shovel it all through those conveyor belts and see just how much money we can make from that. And then hopefully, by the time we've done that, the price for the soybeans will have helped, will have stabilized at a very nice high level, and then we can look to sell our soybeans as well. So that's the end of this episode of Big Bud Farm. Come back on Saturday for a big money-making episode. Let's see just how much we can clear from our silage. Place your bets in the comment section below. How much silage or money do you think we're going to, given that price of $308 per 1,000 litres? Let me know in the comments below. We'll see who's closest. So thanks for watching. I am Jim Bob, and I will catch you back on the farm very soon.